Namaskaram, it's wonderful to be here in Pragjotishpura. I heard that's the name, original name. Well, as I think yesterday I spoke about this anyway. Post-independence after 1947, Assam and a few other states here did not start developing at the same pace as the rest of the country or the other states because certain things were not settled, whatever. These are hiccups in making of a new nation. This is not to blame anybody. At that time, with what they knew and what they could do, the means that they had, that's all they could do. And certain fundamentals didn't settle well, it took some time. So I think we've reached a point in the last 5–10 years' time that there'll be no looking back for Assam. But it's my wish that Assam doesn't become purely industrial. With the kind of natural beauty you have, I hope it'll be more tourism industry and maybe electronics and stuff like that, but not heavy industry. I have also spoken about that to the concerned authorities. I think it's also in their mind that they don't want to go for mining and big industries which will destroy the natural beauty and the resource that it is there. Developing this part of the country as a… if we do the right things, it could be a massive attraction to the world, that a place like this and the kind of wildlife you have is the only place we have the rhinos in the country and also other wildlife, everything is here. So this could become a very great attraction. And industry, if you have to do, we should do things like electronics, data centers and other things which doesn't take too much of the land and resources. I think that's the way forward, and also using the culture as a valuable trade material is also important. The crafts, arts, lifestyles. Lifestyle itself can be sold. People would like to come and live in a village and experience. It's just that we have to educate both the sides so that frictions don't happen. So if certain amount of effort is taken, the different tribes are there. I think there are over 200 tribes if I'm correct. So lots of tribes with distinct ways of living. It could be an experiential process. 1 week you live with this tribe, next week with that tribe, and experience how in the same region, how many varieties of lives, languages, lifestyles, languages, religions, forms of worship, and many other aspects of civilization, how individually they developed in the same, not so far away places, but still they maintain their individuality for thousands of years. This could be a very interesting tourism thing, but it'll take some work of educating people, being accommodative to the tourists who come from outside, and also educating the tourists so that they don't trample upon the local, whatever is precious and sacred to people. There's an enormous opportunity, I'm sure it's being explored. First thing is infrastructure. So infrastructure is beginning to happen very much. The tradition of Tantra, temples and stuff. See, it's not today, even at the time of Mahabharata, which is 5 millennia ago, even then they're talking about this region as a tantric. I don't know how much of it is really alive, because nowhere in the world is it really alive as it used to be. But at the same time, India is one place where it is still more alive than anywhere else. For example, you're seeing the Kumbh Mela, the kind of people that you're seeing there, they're not visible for 12 years. Suddenly once in 12 years, they all appear as if they came from nowhere. No, they're all part of this country always. So there must be lots of people. I have not travelled and met people. Tomorrow I am visiting 2 of your temples to just see what is there and what they have done, because this is my This is my perception that if I go to some place, I see what type of work has happened there in the past. It doesn't matter how long ago. If energetically something has happened, I figure it out. So I want to see what kind of work has been done. See, we are always thinking in terms of protecting life, preserving life. You cannot preserve life, you can only preserve the dead. Life has to be nurtured. If this is alive, well-fed, nurtured, on. You can't preserve this life, isn't it? You can preserve this body after it's dead. So, culture is a living phenomenon. You cannot preserve it, you have to nurture it. If it has to change, it has to change. You must allow it to change, it doesn't matter. Or maybe consciously you must change a few things. But the important thing is, it must be nurturing. It's very important that Assam and Bharat as a whole should become a great economic success story. Then you will not hold something else as an ideal. Then you will want to be this. Well, you saw in G20, this is the first time ever, in a group of international nations, in the Committee of Nations, that to the top 20 nations, never such words have been spoken. India's byline for G20 was, one earth, one family, one future. The way we are empowered with technology today, both positive and destructive technologies that we have, if the whole world doesn't look for one future, there will be no future. See, India has 17.3 or 17.4% of the world's population is in Bharat. But we have only 4% of the land mass. So in the 4% of the land mass, we are fitting in 17+% of people. So naturally there's a huge pressure on the land. If you allow people tomorrow morning, they will destroy all the forests in Assam and everywhere and build houses because they need it. So managing this without impeding in the progress of people's aspirations, their lifestyles, and still preserving is very important. If that has to happen, the most important thing is, we can't just say preserve the forest, preserve the forest. Forest should become a source of income for the society.